AstraZeneca and the US vaccines are very good, but the ones from China, it don't make sense very good at all. But I read that they're going to stop ordering from China, but then next day and they order 20 million.
หายหน้าหายตากันไปนานเลยนะครับกับรายการฝรั่งคิดยังไงทีมงานยักคิวทีวีต้องยอมรับครับว่าพวกเราก็ได้รับผลกระทบจากโควิด -19 ไม่ต่างจากพี่น้องชาวไทยทุกคนครับถ้าจำกันได้นะครับเมื่อปีที่แล้วเราเคยไปถามความคิดเห็นความเป็นอยู่ความรู้สึกนึกคิดของชาวต่างชาติที่ใช้ชีวิตในเมืองไทยช่วงโควิด -19
I think it was made by Donald Trump.
It's normally favored.
Stuck here now 3.5 months.
I'm gonna stuck here, but I love it.
If I could go back and choose to be somewhere else, I wouldn't. I would choose to stay in Thailand.
แต่ช่วงที่ผ่านมาทั่วโลกรวมถึงประเทศไทยก็เจอกับโควิด -19 สายพันธุ์เดลต้าครับเราเลยอยากไปถามชาวต่างชาติว่าพวกเขายังคิดยังรู้สึกกันเหมือนเดิมอยู่หรือเปล่าก่อนไปชมคลิปเราขอแจ้งว่าเพื่อนๆทุกคนสามารถช่วยสนับสนุนช่องของเราได้แล้วโดยการสมทบทุนทางบัญชียักคิวทีวีตามเลขบัญชีนี้ครับถ้าชอบคอนเทนต์ของเราเห็นว่าคลิปนี้มีประโยชน์และอยากให้เราทำต่อไปไม่หายไปไหนซะก่อนกำลังใจเล็กๆน้อยๆของทุกคนช่วยต่อพลังให้เราได้ครับ How long have you been in Thailand?
Only about 4 months. I arrived right in the middle of the lockdown.
Wow, ooh, what a perfect time.
Yeah, I know.
Comparing the lockdown from last year and this year, the recent one, the most recent one, what do you think are the main differences?
I don't really think there's too many differences at all. People still wear masks, still do the same things. I guess places are still restricted in what they can do, so the number of cases is just higher than it was previously, I think, is probably the only thing I would really notice, I imagine.
I think this time people are more fear.
Yeah.
They're taking more seriously. Yeah, because what happened around the world, Thai people can see. For the first time, maybe they not take it serious, so they're very concerned now.
I think it's more strict this year, a little bit, like they make it longer. I don't understand why would they close down the parks. It's a little bit ridiculous, but we have what we have.
I'm in lockdown, like hanging out all day in my apartment, and then my friends are going out to brunch and going out to parties and baby showers, even just little things. To comment on it, it's nice that it's open right now. I mean, I don't know how long it'll be open though.
Do you still think Thailand has handled the situation well?
A lot of Asian countries thought that they were doing fine and they were kind of relaxed about their approach, and then it kind of sneaked up on them and they weren't expecting it.
If you look at the cases and the number of deaths, for example, if I compare to England, which is a similar population to Thailand, about 60-70 million, the number of deaths in England is really high, whereas Thailand is still very low. You could say that's definitely been a success.
But you know, like the actual COVID got stronger, it mutated.
The Delta variant has had such a big impact on the whole of Asia. I don't think Thailand was ever going to escape.
At the moment, even though the cases are higher now than they were last year, I still wouldn't say it's a major problem or a concern, but at the moment, obviously a lot of places have been closed and they're just reopening at the moment.
It seems like COVID has really hurt Thailand just because it's like a very tourist kind of place, like, you know. Personally, I don't think the government can be blamed because no one really expected.
When we didn't have any cases, we should have been making a vaccine and being more proactive, but we weren't. And so now that we have cases, they kind of like overwhelmed the system. We didn't know what to do.
Do you still think Thailand is a safe place for the COVID situation?
Yeah, I mean, I came here because the cases were low, and then I moved here, and now it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I would say so, yeah. I think people here follow the rules more than in the West. People like my friends or family in England, even though they said, oh, you should wear masks and stuff, they didn't really.
Compared to my country, Thailand is doing a much better job of controlling. Your rules are very good. Like in my country, they had nothing like that.
It's okay as long as everybody follow rules, but some people do, some people don't, and it still keeps spreading. I would say no place is safe now. Like basically, it's like we only have choice to live with it and just open up and see whatever happens.
I guess one problem would be the vaccines and the vaccinations, so that seems to have been quite slow.
I have friends that are Thai that are kind of hard for them to get vaccinated. They are just now getting their second AstraZeneca shot when they got their first one in like June.
But Thailand's very lucky because the vaccines are out. It started off very slow, but now, last maybe 2 months, 3 months, very, very quick.
At the moment, I think it's only 20% maybe who are fully vaccinated, so I think that's still quite low compared to other countries. So hopefully that will improve towards the end of this year, I guess.
There's no way we can get rid of the COVID.
No. I don't think. I think everybody will have it eventually after they had the injections. Once they've been immune, it'll be like a flu.
Yeah.
I mean, people will just got to be immune to it.
So even vaccination not helping 100%, but it helps.
There are people back home who refuse it, and then people here who really want it. So it's really interesting to look at the two sides of it.
But back in the States, it's so easy that you can get it in the pharmacy or something, right?
You can just go in for a checkup, and they're like, "Hey, do you want a vaccine while you're here?"
Cool.
I think they're doing a good job at handling it now. I think they're getting vaccines out quickly, so I'm very happy and impressed, and I think we're making progress quickly now.
This week on Monday they said Bangkok can open 15th of October for tourists. Yesterday? No, they cannot.
I was about to ask you about that. The Bangkok sandbox thing.
I think it's a good idea. I think if people are fully vaccinated, if you look at the numbers, I think I looked at the Phuket numbers, the people who've come there and have been fully vaccinated and then have tested positive, I think is very low. Most of the countries now are allowing people to go without the quarantine, as long as you are fully vaccinated. So I think it's a good idea, and hopefully that will happen either in October, November, something like that. I think that's good.
I would love it, because it means that people who live here that are expats could have the option to go home more often and come back in a sandbox and not have to quarantine. It's a lot more convenient for us.
I think it'll really help the economy, because at a certain point we just need to start opening things up. Otherwise people will start losing jobs and their houses, and opening it up to people who are vaccinated makes it safe, and it allows people to get jobs back and get their income back.
People won't come to Thailand because of sandbox. They be restricted where they can go and what they can do, and the restaurants are closed and the bars are closed. People won't come until it's fully open. Plus all the restrictions to come into Thailand. You've got to have insurance and fit to fly and everything from the embassies back home. A lot of process and procedures, and people won't do.
What about back in Ukraine? Do you know the situation back in Ukraine?
Back in Ukraine, the situation is better now. It's not much of it anymore. Yeah, so it's a little bit better than here at the moment.
We had like one of the highest numbers of cases in the world, and we had a policy that people will die. We just have to do our best to
deal with it.
Whereas Thailand seems to have an approach that they don't want anyone to die. People care for their community, so they try really hard to control, and it's a completely different culture. If you go to my country, no one wants to wear a mask because they don't really care about other people. We don't really have a sense of community in my country.
What's the situation in Wales right now?
Very good now. Everything open. 80% out of vaccination.
Wow.
Everything open, all the restaurants, all the bars, all the football grounds, all the nightclubs. Don't have to wear masks, no masks.
Oh.
Now they start in the third booster.
Yeah.
After 6 months, you have number 3.
I don't know how it was in Michigan, but Georgia never closed really. Michigan is fully open. My friends are going to parties. They still require some events where you have to be vaccinated and masked, but my friends are having fun while we're on lockdown here.
It's not as bad as it was before because most people are vaccinated already.
In Canada, they're still wearing masks and social distancing, similar to Thailand, but again, I think they're more advanced in the vaccines and more people have gotten the vaccines there.
Asia is maybe 1 year behind Europe and US and England and everywhere else.
You've seen the worst of it.
Yeah.
And now
we come to Thailand.
It came to Thailand.
Yeah, Vietnam, Asia.
Any message you want to give to Thai people?
Well, obviously, hopefully we all get through it together, I guess. We've obviously living here now quite a few years, so even though I'm not Thai, I still feel like I'm part of the country, and hopefully good luck to all the Thai people who may be struggling at the moment with the situation.
I've come from a country where we lifted the lockdown too soon. After just a few weeks, we ended up in a much stricter lockdown for 3 or 4 months. So don't take it for granted and don't stop following, the social distancing. Otherwise, it will be out of control again.
Just be positive, man. Maybe 2 months, 3 months, all this will finish, and we can start living our life again.
Keep your hope. It will get better.
Stay safe, stay smart, and yeah, we will get through this.
I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Just some tunnels are longer than others. And I just really hope that that doesn't deter anybody. You know, I don't know how to say it in Thai, but I know that like when we're cheering in Chinese, we say jayo.
We sayสู้
So.
Yeah. Keep fighting.
Yeah, so Thai people.
Right. Anyway, I think we got it.
Okay.
And before you go, I got you something. I'm not gonna leave you guys empty-handed. We got a little something for you.
Oh,
This one's Thai lip balm.
oh, amazing. That's so nice. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank
And
you.
this one Thai herbal balm.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Herbal balm.
Is it like for when you have a like muscle
Yeah,
pain?
exactly.
Okay.
And you can use it as an inhaler as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we're congested.
it's herbal.
Oh, thank you so much. ขอบคุณค่ะ
สนับสนุนของขวัญน่ารักสไตล์รามเกียรติ์โดยโฮเล่นฝรั่งรักคนไทยเลิฟนอกจากเซตยาดมยาหม่องลิปบาล์มรามเกียรติ์ยังมีกระเป๋าตุ๊กตาแปลงร่างทั้ง 3 แบบ และหน้ากากผ้าฮัลโหลสารพัดลาย เข้าไปชมไปช็อปกันแบบชิลๆแล้วก็อย่าลืมกรอกโค้ดยักษ์คิ้วเพื่อรับส่วนลดไปเลย 10% ครับนอกจากช่วยสนับสนุนสินค้าจากโฮเล่นที่เราพอจะได้ค่าขนมเล็กๆน้อยๆแล้วถ้าชอบคลิปนี้เพื่อนๆยังสามารถส่งกำลังใจให้ช่องของเราได้ด้วยการสนับสนุนมาที่บัญชียักษ์คิ้วทีวีตามเลขบัญชีนี้เพื่อให้เรามีกำลังใจทำคลิปดีๆกันต่อไปนะครับขอแค่ทุกคนที่ดูคลิปนี้คนละ9 บาทก็จะต่อพลังให้พวกเราได้แล้วล่ะครับ
Restrict population as long as obviously
Concern eventually. The new insurance.
Strict, mutated, spreading. Anymore?
Brunch, baby showers, checkup, deterrent,
Sneaked up on variant, blamed, an approach, proactive, overwhelmed.
Otherwise, similar